An awesome show of excellence as dozens of students filed into the gymnasium at Stranahan High School in Fort Lauderdale. The students are participating in Mentoring Tomorrow's Leaders induction ceremony. The peer-to-peer mentoring program focuses on academic achievement, mentoring, family involvement, community support, and incentives, something these students made a commitment to achieving.
Attitude and behaviors that will ensure my success.
Dr. Thelma Tinney, the founder and CEO of Healing Arts Institute, will be playing an engaging role in the program through her nonprofit, which offers no-cost mental health therapy primarily to youth and their families. She was invited to give the keynote at the induction ceremony.
First and foremost with family. And I'm happy to see so many families here supporting your young adults. We know that for some of you, blood family may not be able to or not available for them. And I can wholeheartedly relate to this because this was the case for me as a young adult. However, as you can see, I found a family of support in my community to aid into my success. And this is the case for all of you here tonight. You can do the same, and you've started your families, your community here with your peers. The road will not always be easy, but I promise you, if you learn to push through, learn to forgive yourself for the mistakes and failures you experience along the way, you will be happy and you will be successful. Thank you.
Several students also giving thanks for the leaders and school administrators who have helped them and encouraging the students with words of inspiration. One message in particular stood out to Dr. Tenney.
Good evening, everyone. High school is a monument in any child's life, the last few steps before your slide into greatness. One of the most important components to a successful high school career is health, mental health. Mental health is a person's emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects many aspects like how we think, feel, and act, as well as handle stress, relate to people, and make decisions. High school is a time where we make friends, some temporary and some lifelong. We learn things we've never known, see some things we might not have ever wanted to see. Most importantly, we're introduced to new stressors, like classes, exams, social situations that excite us, scare us, make us want to open the gates and walk home. But the point is that mental health is a foundation, but not just in high school, in all walks of life. Our youth, young adult years, middle ages, and even our eldest years. To participate in the upkeep of a child's mental health is to participate in the upkeep of the future. And oh, keep the future so beautiful. Good night.
Dr. Tenney made sure to connect with that student after the ceremony was over and let her know she could receive volunteer hours through the nonprofit in the field of mental health, which she was very excited to hear. It was a packed house at the first annual GovCon Giant Summit in Miami. Small business owners, executives, and the curious pouring into the Intercontinental Hotel by the hundreds. All at the invitation of the CEO and founder Eric Coffey, who had one focus in mind: teaching people how to do business with the federal government.
One of the sayings that I have is that the government doesn't get the best people, they get the best people that come to them. And so many of the people in this room have never tried going to government contracts. Many of these people in the room are successful in their own right. They have the skills, they have capabilities, they have the talents, they have the gifts, but they don't know how to navigate the process. And so I wanted to help bridge that gap.
I want to make sure everybody knows just how important you are. We have Ms. Adrienne Elrod here from the Department of Commerce. Some of you may recognize her for her extremely profound professional background in media and public relations as a government official. She has worked at the highest levels of government, worked for presidents, worked on presidential campaigns. I don't care what cable channel you watch, you have seen her before somewhere.
GovCon Giants bringing in some of the top federal contractors in the country, all under one roof for this Contracting Connections Summit.
And you do, project managers, you have a superhero power. You're one of the only people in the entire organization or agency that literally executes executive strategy and affects the P&L. Now, I just gave myself goosebumps. The liberating part of that is, it's a high-vis career. An old Navy welder can make quite something of himself. You get pretty good at it, but you can't hide. If something goes wrong, man, they call it you. They're walking down the hallway looking for somebody to punch in the face, it's you. You know what I mean? So it can be a harrowing way to make a living, okay? But man, it's so cool.
Small businesses should absolutely consider federal funding. There is a generational moment that is happening. With over $100 billion at the Department of Energy, your opportunity is right now. You could be engaging with dollars that for long term, your businesses could be around for 30, 40, 50 years, hopefully 100 years using federal funding.
GovCon Giants, we are a nonprofit organization, and what our mission is to bridge that gap, bridging the gap from small businesses to federal agencies. We are here to provide just education and training to all those entrepreneurs, small businesses that have ever wanted to enter or break into or even scale into the federal arena. And the way we do it is we started with a YouTube channel, simple channel that has grown from 1,000 people Christmas Day 2017 to 35,000 subscribers.
Eric Coffey launching this nonprofit after a commercial contract began to crumble.
And so when I came out of that experience, I said, I want to change my philosophy. And I don't want to just work for money anymore. I want to put people first. And I want to work to help other people and then make money at the same time.
I was a kindergarten teacher before I started this journey. So that story motivates others that you don't have to have your own business. You don't have to be a small business already. You could do this from wherever you are. And that's where we get our member stories, that we go from not knowing this even exists to having millions of dollars in contracts.
The GovCon Giants anyone could do this approach has led thousands into the world of federal contracting.
For me, I've been following Eric and Maria for about 2.5 years now. Within those 2.5 years, I didn't become a member, but like Eric always mentions, follow my content, do what you can with it, reverse engineer it, and luckily for me, I can be a test that I won my first contract with that information.
The network, I mean, this is an amazing network here. I am so excited to be here. I've met some incredible individuals, so I would say that people is one of the things I would take away. Secondly, the agencies, how open and willing they are to do business, and the fact that they're able to come here to Miami and sort of work within Eric's vision. And I'm just really, really taken away today that, listen, you can do business with the government as a small business. They do want to do business with you. And this GovCon Giants community is here. I recommend it highly for anyone that has not part of the community to join the community and also come to the next summit.
We've been able to train thousands of people. We've been able to interview over 200 podcast guests. And we've been able to essentially take that pain that I had, that suffering that I went through, that I endured, and I was been able to harness that into energy to give to all of you out here, and to be able to give my content relentlessly, and to know that no one's going to beat me, because my burning desire inside of me is greater than their monetary gains that they're looking for.
For more information on GovCon Giants, go to govcongiants.com. That's GOVCON Giants.com. A South Florida nonprofit has been a lifeline in the Allapattah community for years for children in need of a second home. The Motivational Edge providing a place for children to get help with their schoolwork and explore their creative abilities.
You may get it sketched to different proportions, slightly different on the canvas. It might even work better the way that you do it, right? So see what you have in front of you and see if you could actually make it work as opposed to going over the exact thing.
The impact so great for one student, he's now come full circle, becoming the center's lyrical expression teacher, and owes it all to the staff who helped him get on the right path.
Where would I be if I was not at the edge? Wow, that is a good question. I would like to say in a sense they saved me because I, as a student, was not on the right path. I did not have good grades in school, and I had my mind fixated on doing whatever I wanted to do. I wanted to be here because I was one of the students where, like many others when I was here at the time, this is a home for us. So it was the place to be after school, as they like to say, the cool spot. So if you were in school and when you got out, it's like, oh, so what are we doing today? It's like, Joe, we going to the edge, we're gonna make music, we're gonna hang out. It was a family, it was a community here. Anytime we needed help, they were here for us and ready to help at all and anytime. I curate music. I'm over the lyrical expression department, which we make music for as production, instrumentation, songwriting, and even performances. And I just added personally of my own. I taught myself how to DJ so I could teach the students how to DJ and bringing that program back here. So now I'm over production, DJing, and lyrical expression.
The Motivational Edge providing a stable atmosphere for children, many who come from foster care homes.
Sometimes a lot of weird things come up because, you know, when you deal with humans, weird things come up. I say, well, how are we going to solve this problem with love? Because, and when you deal with kids too, the generation before us wanted to teach hard lessons, and I think it's more important to do the right thing than to prove a point. And I like to, just lead and solve the problem with love. And I think if you just remember your purpose, remember what you're here for, and not about your current emotional feeling of whatever it is, that you should just, and it always works out when you start that way, always, every single time.
You gotta know everything. How's your team feeling? How are the kids feeling? It's everything. It's a good oiled machine, you know?
Like most nonprofits, the Motivational Edge welcomes sponsors, donations, and grants, but also focuses on a social enterprise format. The center teaches the kids to create artwork, then sell it, and even teach or perform the lyrical expression skills they learned at the center to others.
I like to thank them all, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of them I have spoken with and told them that I'm thankful for their service because, like I say, the things that they instilled in me, I get to instill in the kids here. And growing up, I was always taught, give the gift onto others. So if you've been blessed with something, share that with them.